Let them come.
Hey everyone, this is Arnold98, and here we have Mr. Boss Monkey himself, Optimus Primal, from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And as you saw in my community tab and also my Instagram, the other three Maximals are already designed, and I'll be showing them off really soon after this video. And this guy was really fun to design, since considering his transformation isn't very complex. And he's my second largest build from the movie with 730 parts. Scourge has about 770. And this guy was really fun to design since his transformation isn't crazy complex, and it took me about a week to figure out. And like with the rest of my Rise of the Beast builds, there are free PDF instructions on Rebrickable. There's a link in the description or in my pinned comment. I unfortunately do not have the time to make Ape Link, but you're welcome to try making him yourself given my instructions, and you can definitely retool this guy. And let's start off with Primal in his gorilla mode. And spinning him around, he's quite big and chunky, and I use a lot of black for the animal and fur parts, as well as some gray for the robot parts. I unfortunately wasn't able to get actual like fur detailing or texturing. Starting off with the head, I really like how this turned out. It looks a little cartoonish, but I think this is the best I could do. But yeah, I wanted to make sure his green eyes were showing using the longer rods. And then the chest is very nice too. It's very chunky, and you got the chest plates and I guess some of the detail for the abs. And opening the chest up, you can see the inside is very hollow since this compacts a bit more for the robot mode. And his arms are very well detailed. You got the big gorilla fists, and then these shell pieces are perfect for the shoulders. His back is pretty boxy with these panels sticking out, but I was able to fit in his spine, which is very nice. And his legs are the worst part of this alt mode. They're just way too chunky and big, and the feet are supposed to be like little stumps on the actual model. But of course, this becomes robot legs, so there's a lot of mass I couldn't hide. But I did get his 5 toes in very nicely. And now for articulation, I don't usually cover this until robot mode, but he's a big monkey. His head can look up. As you can see, there's like a lot of set of joints here. You can kind of pull this more for transformation. It's on this little stalk, and you can rotate it. And what's more fun is you can open his mouth and you can see the glowing throat or whatever he has. Unfortunately, it's visible at the bottom, but I think that's okay. And I used the handlebars for his eyebrows, so you can kind of adjust them. If you move him forward, he looks more mad, but if you move him back, he kind of looks sad. Coming to the shoulder pad, you can move them out of the way. You can see he has a little bit of a butterfly joint here, and then some shoulder joint using the larger ball joints, and some elbow bend, and some wrist swivel on this smaller ball joint, and of course articulated fingers. And he does have some waist movement here, and then the legs are just bent at the hips and ankles, and nothing at the knee because everything's all compacted, and you can wiggle the toes. And he's articulate enough to kind of bang on his chest like he does in the movie. Unfortunately, these areas are a little bit hollow. And he also passes the dab test. You can also give him his favorite snack. And of course, it's really easy to get him on all fours. You just gotta push the head backwards and move the arms forward, kind of bend the panels forward and get his like knuckles like that. And same for this side. And then coming to the back here, you wanna fold the foot forward and straighten out these hips. And setting him like that. And here's Primal on all fours. And spinning him around, he doesn't look too bad on all fours. I do prefer him just standing on 2 legs, like King Kong. And I forgot, you can move around his butt flap too, if you like that. And for a size comparison, here he is next to a minifigure and Ravage, Studio Series Bumblebee, and the high-grade Exia, and his Studio Series toy. And for my other builds, here is Mirage next to Donkey Kong, Battle Trap, Scourge, and here is finally with Optimus Prime, and I think they scale very nicely together. And here's with Primal on all fours. And you can recreate the scene when they first meet at the Cincinnati Zoo. And now for the transformation. It's relatively simple, but there's still a lot of neat tricks going on. First you want to come to the legs, take out this little bit here. This is going to unlock the foot to pivot out. And because of this gives you the clearance to kind of accordion the legs to kind of make them longer. And then you rotate this back into place and set this down to lock it into place. And then you rotate the foot 180 here, fold up all the toes and take this panel and fold it up like that. And same for this side. Just unlock this area, fold this out, and all this is going to accordion. There's a Technic hinge, and then this is the actual knee joint. And fold this up, and rotate this around, fold up the toes, and lock this back into place. And you can have them with long legs, which is very cursed. And for clearance, you just want to move the shoulder pads out, and then fold the head back up a little bit, and now we can get these chest plates out of the way. Rotate them like this, and rotate them like that. And then coming down here, you want to untap this area from the bottom of this wedge plate, and then you want to fold this, fold these sections upwards, and fold all this around. And then now you can come onto the back here and rotate this down, and rotate these panels down. Now fold down the spine here as well as these two panels. And you want to come to the neck here, rotate the head 180, and on this extra joint here, you want to move it so this gray section is forward just like this. And then you can set the head down so it's parallel to these Technic bits right here, like that. And next you want to make sure these smaller panels are out of the way for clearance. You want to fold this up, and you want to push the robot head right there through, and that'll give you the clearance to fold all this out here. And this will be the ab section, and you just want to fold it out. And this is the trickiest part, but you want to fold this down, and all this is going to rotate around that classic Primal head flip thing. And you want to keep folding it and rotating it. Sometimes you have to wiggle because a lot of things will get caught, like that. And then you can set these panels to cover up the sides of the face. This will fold down and then also cover the face, and then the abs will come in, and you can squeeze these into place. And take the head and rotate it 180. And coming to the back, this will become the big collar. You want to rotate these panels around, and just this section of the chest panel is going to rotate 180 to reveal the details of the back, and it's just going to straighten out and sit there. And same with this side, you want this gray stuff to point inwards, so it just rotates on a simple bar. And this will set into place. You can see this little area is going to hitch right behind that ball joint, like that. And you can fold this up, and set this back down into place. And the spine section, this jumper is going to tab right into this slope. And using the hinges here to straighten out the spine. That's the back. And next we're going to finish off the chest. Rotate this armature into place. And this area is going to just kind of notch over the gorilla eyes. And then you could rotate this little tile to finish off the shaping of the chest. And same for this side. This is just going to rotate like that. And rotate this. And the chest is all done. Next we're going to switch out the monkey fist for the robot fist. You want to fold in the thumb, cover it like that, and rotate it like this. And rotate the actual robot fist outwards, rotate that down, and as you do that, bring this panel forward, and then coming over to here, you want this fist to slide underneath this gap here, and squeeze it into place, and then rotate this panel to partially cover it. And of course you can bring out the robot fist, set this down, and put the shoulder pad down. And same for this side, fold in the thumb and then the fist, and then rotate this. Free up the robot hand here, and just keep rotating this, and then bring out this panel here. Fold out the robot fist, and then rotate the gorilla fist and tuck that away. And rotate this tiny panel. And then get the shoulder into position. And here's Optimus Primal in his robot mode. And spinning him around, this is easily the better of the two modes. It's a shame he wasn't in this form for long of the movie, And I based this guy off of the 3-0 Deluxe figure, which is very accurate. And I'm not going to spend too much time on the details, mostly the head and the chest that's new. And I really like how this head turned out, especially with the big mouth plate. And I definitely want to try to base any of my future movie primes off of this head design. I like the shaping of the chest too, especially the ab pieces. And for fun, you could open all this up to see the gorilla head inside. And what's cool is that there's no hollow space, so this entire structure was just built around the head, which I designed first. And he keeps the same beast mode spine, and I like how these chest panels kind of bunch up to form the collar. And the arms are pretty much the same. There's some new detail here, and the legs are also pretty much the same. They're just kind of stretched out. And his articulation is basically the same as beast mode. He just got the extra joint at the head, and also the waist can move a little bit more freely now. And of course he has knees, which he didn't have in the monkey mode. And the hips his legs are pretty flexible. And one cool thing that wasn't too relevant in the beast mode is that he has hip panels here, which allow the legs to do a little split here. And he's just a very solid model overall due to a lot of the larger ball joints I used. So he has a similar frame structure as Scourge. And yeah, honestly, this could be a pretty nice non-transforming model if you look at it. And the only really flaw I have is that this section can come undone, but if you pose him right, he's not going to tip over. And he can pull off the superhero landing pose really well. And his only weapons are his 2 Energon swords here. I know they could be a little bit more curvy, but I think this is the best I could do. And you can also combine them here. And he can hold it in his hand, like with my larger builds. Just like this. Or you can separate the blades like this, and the orange contrasts the black and gray very nicely. And for a size comparison, here he is with the minifigure and Ravage, and of course he gains a lot of height in this mode. And here he is with Studio Series Bumblebee and the high grade Exia. And for reference, he's about 8 inches or 20 centimeters tall. And with the Studio Series Leader toy. And for my builds, here he is with Mirage, Battle Trap, and Scourge. Primal is my second tallest build from the movie. And here are the 2 Optimuses, Optimi together. Primal is, I think, supposed to be about the same height as Prime, so he's a little taller, but I think this works out though. You can also get Primal to hold Battle Trap's mace, which is a little bit undersized, but he's about to be ballin'. And you can recreate the scene where he goes 8 mode on Battle Trap. And that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed big old Harambe here. It was such a fun build to design, and both modes are equally chunky and fun, especially the robot mode, since it basically looks like a non-transforming model. As always, there are free PDF instructions over on Rebrickable, and you can use them to try to make this guy into Ape Link if you want. This guy is a very strong start to my Maximals, and spoiler alert, he's actually the best of the bunch. For my next video, I'll be showing off the big cat next. And if you're very impatient in seeing how the rest of the Maximals turned out, you can look at my community tab pictures or one of my recent shorts to look at their prototypes. And I'll see you guys then.